Archangel Michael orders you to open this right now. It was hidden to protect the innocent, but now the truth demands to be seen. If you skip, you will never know the truth. Open immediately. A spiritual window has opened. This very moment is holy. Time is not what it appears to be. The clock on your wall does not measure divine timing. Heaven has stirred, and what was once sealed has now been opened. The Spirit of the living God is shifting the veil, and the breath of heaven has carried you here, not by accident, not by scrolling, not by coincidence. You were summoned. Archangel Michael stands watch, alert, sword drawn, clothed in fire and truth. The skies around you may appear silent, but in the unseen realm, war has already begun. This message comes as a blade of light into the darkness that has tried to confuse you, bind you, delay you. This is not merely a video, a word, or a thought. It is a divine appointment, and it demands your full attention. For too long, heaven protected what could not yet be understood. The truth was hidden not to harm you, but to shield you from what would have broken you before your spirit was strong enough to carry its weight. Innocence was preserved by divine secrecy. God, in His infinite wisdom, covered what could have shattered your trust until now. But the covering is lifting. The sealed scroll is opening. The veil is being torn, and what was once concealed must now be seen. This is not for the curious. This is not for the lukewarm. This is not for those who treat the divine as entertainment. This message is for the called, those who have felt the unrest, the spiritual dizziness, the subtle groaning in their spirit. If you have felt the strange stillness around you, the friction in your relationships, the stirring dreams you can't explain, you are the one this word is for. You were drawn here not by marketing, not by algorithm, but by divine prompting. Something within your soul has been reaching, searching, crying for clarity. You have sensed that something was just beyond your view, like a shadow moving behind a wall, like a voice muffled in a closed room. And now heaven declares, this is your unlocking moment. The watchers are watching. The angels are taking record. You must choose how you respond in this hour. Will you open your spirit? Will you pause everything and hear what heaven is saying to you now? The urgency you feel is not anxiety. It is heaven's voice urging you into alignment. You are standing on holy ground, and the moment to respond is fleeting. You must now silence your surroundings. Shut down the chaos. Turn down the value of the world. Turn away from distractions. This moment is not casual. It is sacred. Obedience is now demanded. The whisper of the Holy Spirit is coming like a mighty wind. And Michael, he stands with his sword above you, not in warning but in protection. You are not lost. You are not overlooked. You are not behind. You have been hidden for preservation, but the season of hiding is over. Now comes the revealing. Now comes the revelation. And the truth you have long suspected is about to confront you with clarity and divine fire. Do not ignore this. Do not scroll past. Do not harden your heart. Heaven has chosen now to open the scroll. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. Within the next 3 minutes, heaven will shift for you. These are not poetic words. These are not symbolic lines in a spiritual story. This is a decree. This is a command from the realm that governs time, truth, and transformation. Archangel Michael now steps forward, not as a messenger of comfort, but as a commander of divine warfare. His presence is not soft. His voice is not still. He speaks with the thunder of heaven behind him and the fire of God before him. He says to you now, the shift has already begun. You are standing on the edge of something eternal. Time is fragile. This moment is a crack in the veil. What you do in these next few minutes will echo in both realms. What you believe, what you allow, what you reject, it all matters. You have been given a window, and heaven is watching to see if you step through or remain trapped in what was. The wind is moving. The fire is falling. And the Spirit is hovering over the deep places of your life. The secrets, the scars, the buried questions, the silent disappointments. God is speaking through the fire now. Not to condemn, not to shame, but to ignite. You were chosen for this intersection. You were not supposed to miss this word. That resistance you felt before watching this, that hesitation, that was the enemy desperately trying to distract you from your moment of clarity. Do you not sense the heat rising in your chest? Do you not feel the atmosphere trembling around your name? You are not just watching something happen. You are being summoned into it. You are not a bystander. You are the target of this divine release. Heaven is not speaking to a crowd. It is speaking to you. There is a fire in the air, and your name is inscribed in its flame. You are chosen, and those who are chosen are also tested. Not everyone around you can see what you're about to see. Not everyone can hear what you're about to hear. That is why you feel isolated. That is why your spirit has felt like it's been walking through fog. The divine was waiting for the exact moment when your heart was soft enough, your eyes ready enough, your faith firm enough to receive this revelation. Michael has stood silently beside you, watching the nights you cried but told no one, watching the conversations that drained your soul, watching the confusion, the manipulation, the quiet betrayals you pretended didn't hurt. And now he speaks, not with pity, but with power. You were never abandoned. You were never overlooked. You were being prepared. You are being called now to rise. Rise in belief. Rise in clarity. Rise in divine alignment. The things that have been breaking around you are not accidents. They are surgical. They are heaven's way of removing what cannot go with you into your next season. That friend who became distant. That job that suddenly shifted. That opportunity that vanished. Heaven did not allow these things to fall apart. Heaven pulled them apart to make room for what you've prayed for. You asked for truth. You asked for purpose. You asked for clarity. And now that it's arriving, do not resist it. Do not mourn what was only meant to be temporary. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are not losing. You are being positioned. This is your 3-minute intersection. Right now, heaven is waiting for your yes. Not a casual yes. Not a safe yes. But a yes that says, God, I will obey. Even if I don't understand. Even if I have to walk alone. Even if it costs me the things I thought I needed. Silence your mind. Lay down your defense mechanisms. Shut the mouth of doubt. Heaven does not operate through your logic. It moves through your surrender. And surrender is being demanded now. Let Michael's voice echo inside you. You are being separated because you are sacred. You are being refined because you carry revelation. You are being stirred because your purpose is not small. This is not your undoing. This is your reforming. And heaven always rebuilds stronger than the ruin. Let the fire fall. Let your spirit open. Let your soul remember who you are. You are not a victim of life. You are a vessel of divine authority. You were hidden for such a time as this. Say yes. Open. Align. Step forward into the divine exposure. This message is not an idea. It is an invitation. And only the brave will respond. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. There is a disturbance in the spirit that you have not been able to name, but it has been real, and it has been loud in the quiet places of your soul. Someone close, someone familiar, someone once trusted. They wore their smile like a garment, but beneath it, something was off. You saw it, didn't you? You felt it. The pause before they spoke. The way their energy shifted when your blessing came near. The odd tone in their voice when they mentioned your name in a room full of others. It was subtle, but not invisible. There were moments when you told yourself you were imagining things. Moments you swallowed your discernment because love made you hesitate. But heaven is uncovering what the Spirit already whispered. They knew something you didn't. They saw something before you did. And they hid it, because the truth convicted them. They didn't tell you everything. They offered fragments, half-truths, disguised motives wrapped in polite words. And while your heart stayed pure, theirs began to drift into shadow. This isn't about one conversation. This is about a pattern. The hesitations, the gaslighting, the way they tried to shape your perception of yourself and others. And still, you gave them the benefit of the doubt. Still, you covered for them. Still, you prayed for them. But heaven is intervening now. The veil must lift. Because truth is sacred, and it has been buried too long. Your life cannot continue in false alignment. This is why your spirit has been restless. This is why your sleep has been interrupted. This is why you've begun to question things you once accepted without hesitation. Because God is awakening your eyes to the unspoken war happening around you. The whispers, the strange looks, the long stares that seem to mean more than words. Something was always just beneath the surface. People were talking but not saying it to you. There were stories you were part of but not invited into. Suspicion wrapped itself around you like a fog, and now the fire of revelation is burning it away. This is not paranoia. This is prophetic disruption. The spirit of truth is invading your atmosphere. What was once hidden is trembling under the weight of divine exposure. What you couldn't name before is now being shouted in heaven's courtroom. The person you suspected, the conversation you overheard, the strange feeling in that room. You weren't wrong. You were being warned. There is a spiritual imbalance that has been thrown off by your awakening. The enemy thought you would stay asleep, that you would keep second-guessing your discernment, that you would silence your spirit for the sake of false peace. But that season is over. Heaven is interrupting the silence with a trumpet blast of divine clarity. The betrayal wasn't just personal. It was strategic. The enemy moved through wounded people who saw your light and didn't know how to handle it. They didn't understand your favor, so they feared it. They couldn't explain your discernment, so they discredited it. They couldn't match your obedience, so they mocked it. But what they didn't realize is that heaven was watching. Every conversation held in secret, every manipulation masked as concern, every delay and detour. It's all been recorded in divine ink. And now God is lifting the fog. Now, the mystery breaks open. There is something they didn't tell you, because they couldn't bear the guilt of seeing you walk free while they remained chained to fear. They projected their own bondage onto your breakthrough. They tried to convince you to wait, to doubt, to settle, because they were too afraid to rise themselves. But now comes the disruption. Now comes the rearrangement. God is confronting the shadows. The truth is no longer content to remain hidden. Heaven has sounded the alarm, and Archangel Michael is drawing the sword, not against flesh, but against deception. Your spirit is rising into a realm where lies cannot survive. What felt confusing will suddenly make sense. What felt vague will sharpen into clarity. The people who danced around your questions will soon be forced into silence. Divine order is invading confusion. This is why your emotions have felt heavy. This is why you sense pressure in your chest. Your spirit hath been processing what your mind could not yet understand. But now the understanding comes. Now the lines are drawn. And what was once whispered will be shouted. You were not crazy. You were discerning. You were not too sensitive. You were spiritually attuned. You were not dramatic. You were divinely alerted. The Spirit says, I am revealing what was kept in shadow to preserve the light in you. Do not retaliate. Do not expose in anger. Let my justice speak. You were not left out. You were set apart. And now your clarity begins. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And don't forget, subscribe to this channel to receive more prophetic insight, spiritual direction, and divine strategies sent straight to your soul. Your alignment with this space will be your access to future revelation. Type I receive this clarity in the comments. Blessing code 1313 is now activated around your spirit. You must understand this now. What you've been experiencing isn't just emotional. It's spiritual. The unrest in your soul, the tension in your relationships, the resistance in your environment. These are not random frustrations. They are spiritual signals. They are divine alarms sounding off in the hidden places of your life. This is not mere betrayal from a person. It is an assault from the kingdom of darkness. It is not just about your feelings being hurt. It is about your purpose being hunted. You have been under spiritual surveillance. The enemy has been tracking your atmosphere, watching your steps, sensing your alignment, fearing your awakening. There are things you were not supposed to discover, patterns you were not meant to break, cycles you were never expected to interrupt. But here you are, seeing, sensing, waking, discerning. The veil is lifting, and the darkness is panicking. This battle was never about one person, one moment, or one mistake. It has always been about destiny. The moment you began to break free, hell started to strategize. Because the moment you walk in truth, you become a weapon against everything hell has built on lies. The moment you rise in clarity, you destabilize the confusion they tried to plant in your mind. You don't just survive, you dismantle. You don't just overcome, you overthrow. You've been asking, why me? Why now? Why this storm? And the answer comes clearly from heaven. Because you were chosen to break what others were bound by. Your life is the divine interruption to generational strongholds. Your obedience is the earthquake that shakes long-standing altars built in darkness. This war is not punishment, it is confirmation. The weight you feel is not proof that you are weak, it is proof that you are being watched by both heaven and hell. Do not misinterpret this pain as failure. Heaven is not trying to crush you, it is refining you. The pressure you're under is shaping your spiritual senses. It's awakening you to a realm you didn't know you had authority in. The opposition is not random. It's strategic. and that strategy is proof of your importance. Even now, the enemy is terrified that you're still standing, terrified that you're still praying, terrified that you haven't folded into silence. Because every moment you continue to walk in truth, you pull down another layer of deception. Every time you open your mouth in prayer, chains are breaking, chains on you, on your family, on your bloodline. Archangel Michael has been assigned to you in this season, not to comfort you, but to protect your advancement. He has not left your side. Every sleepless night, every strange resistance, every unexpected delay, he has been shielding you, silencing attacks you never saw, warring on your behalf in rooms your feet haven't even entered yet. You thought you were walking alone, but you were walking covered by divine assignment. This is spiritual warfare, but it is not a battle you are losing. In fact, it's a battle you've already won in the unseen realm. What you are feeling is the aftershock of that victory. You are walking through the ruins of the enemy's failed plan. You are stepping over the broken pieces of weapons that did not prosper. You are moving through the smoke of fires that tried to consume you but couldn't find fuel in your surrendered heart. This is not discipline for wrongdoing. This is correction for destiny. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. You are not broken. You are under divine reconstruction. You are being pulled apart only to be rebuilt stronger than before. Every time something is removed from your life in this season, rejoice, because heaven only subtracts what no longer matches your assignment. The conflict you feel with certain people, the agitation in certain spaces, it's not coincidence. Your spirit is outgrowing atmospheres that once felt safe. You are being stretched, and what doesn't stretch with you will be left behind. That is not cruelty. It is divine mercy. There are some who are no longer allowed near your revelation. They cannot be trusted with your next level. And the separation is not rejection. It is protection. God is being selective with your circle because He's about to be extravagant with your anointing. You cannot carry both the burden of people-pleasing and the authority of heaven. One must die for the other to rise. So now heaven is asking, how will you respond? Will you see this conflict for what it truly is? Will you stop shrinking to keep the peace and start rising to claim your authority? Will you silence your flesh and let your spirit lead? The battle is not against them. It's against what was trying to bind you. And the moment you stop reacting and start discerning is the moment you regain your authority. You don't need to clap back. You need to stand back and let heaven reveal. Michael declares, you are surrounded by fire, shielded by light, guarded by truth. Walk as one who carries the glory of the King, not the weight of the betrayal. Let them say what they say. Let them believe what they believe. Your victory is not in proving your point. It's in fulfilling your purpose. And that purpose is unfolding, even now, in the silence of heaven's holy strategy. Type "I'm under divine warfare" covering in the comments if this message finds you. Blessing code 8181 is now active over your life. Listen carefully now. This is not a moment to relax your guard. This is not the time to drift back into passivity. Something is moving in the unseen realm, and it is moving quickly. The shadows are no longer hiding. They are shifting. There is a plan being whispered in secret chambers, and your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never stepped into. What was once dormant is now active. What once crouched in silence is beginning to prowl again. The spiritual terrain has changed, and you can feel it, even if your mind hasn't caught up yet. There is a stirring behind closed doors. People you once trusted are reconsidering their roles in your story. There are schemes forming, not out of strength, but out of fear. Fear of what you become. Fear of what you know. Fear of the light that is now resting upon you. They see your clarity rising. They feel your atmosphere shifting. They can no longer manipulate the version of you they once managed, and now they are panicking. Before 72 hours pass, something hidden will surface. Mark this. Not just metaphorically. Mark it in your prayer, in your awareness, in your spiritual posture. Because heaven has already released the first ripple of what is about to be revealed. You will see signs, through dreams, through conversations, through divine slips of the tongue. A name may be dropped accidentally. A message may be sent mistakenly. A truth they buried will fight its way to the surface. There will be moments when you feel the weight of pressure press against your chest for no physical reason. That is your spirit detecting spiritual activity. That is your discernment tuning into a frequency you didn't know you had access to. Pay attention. The voice of God is not always loud. Sometimes it comes in the subtle misalignment of a sentence. Sometimes it breaks through the crack in someone's carefully crafted story. This is not paranoia. This is prophetic preparation. Your energy will sense the shift before your eyes confirm it. Your body may feel tired at strange times because your spirit is doing more work in the unseen than you realize. Do not ignore these physical and emotional signals. Your soul is a radar, and heaven is transmitting alerts through your spiritual antenna. You may suddenly feel the need to pull back from certain people or places without knowing why. Do not fight this. That is divine protection in disguise. The Spirit of God is shifting your alliances. It's not about who's good or bad. It's about who can no longer walk in the same revelation level as you. It's about spiritual survival. It's about protecting the promise. The message you're hearing now is your only early warning. Heaven is not going to repeat itself in this matter. The watchmen have cried out. The trumpet has sounded. This word is your scroll, your code, your divine intelligence. If you ignore this moment, if you scroll past or dismiss it as coincidence, you will be walking blind into a realm that demands spiritual sight. This is not fear-mongering. This is the mercy of God. He is not showing you the danger to frighten you. He is revealing it so that you dominate it. He is calling you to awareness, not anxiety. He is giving you eyes to see beyond the surface because the next move requires clarity, not confusion. Archangel Michael is now sharpening his sword. He is not in waiting mode, he is in warfare mode. But heaven's protection is only activated by your obedience. If you move out of divine rhythm, if you operate in emotion instead of instruction, if you try to fight this in your flesh, you will step out of the covering designed for this battle. Stay alert. Guard your spirit. There is a rattling in the spirit realm, and it is trying to shake loose a revelation that will either shift you forward or attempt to bind you backward. The enemy wants to trap you in reaction. He wants you to respond in haste. He wants you to lash out. Because the moment you fight with your flesh, you forfeit heaven's strategy. This is a moment of holy restraint, a time for divine calculation. You must become like a watchman on the wall, eyes open, spirit still, heart postured in wisdom. Something is about to unfold, and your silence in this hour is not weakness, it is warfare. There will be a test, perhaps a conversation, a confrontation, an invitation to respond to old wounds. Recognize it for what it is, a setup, not for your failure but for your revelation. The way you handle what is coming will signal to heaven that you are ready for what is next. Do not take the bait. Do not lower your frequency. Heaven is trusting you with sight, so see with spirit, not with emotion. Let Michael stand beside you, Let the fire of God surround you. Do not react. Respond in righteousness. The kingdom of darkness trembles not at your anger, but at your alignment. Type "I am a watchman" in this hour in the comments. Blessing code 7272 is now releasing prophetic warning and protection over you. Now is the time to stand in restraint, not retaliation. This is the hour when stillness will serve as your most powerful shield, and silence will become your most dangerous weapon. The world has taught you that defense looks like reaction, that war looks like shouting, that proving your side requires your voice. But heaven is saying the opposite. The Spirit of the Lord declares, stillness is your shield, silence is your sword. This is not weakness. This is not avoidance. This is divine strategy. And the moment you embrace this posture, you will feel heaven align around you like a fortress. Let them speak. Let them question. Let them accuse. Let the lies float through the air like arrows. None will land. Because God Himself has positioned you behind a shield not made by man, but forged in the fires of the Holy Spirit. Every fiery dart of accusation, every twisted word, every false assumption is being intercepted before it touches your destiny. Archangel Michael moves now, not with a sword of vengeance, but with a sword of justice. Heaven does not need your defense. It requires your alignment. The enemy wants your words. He wants you to break open your anointing with arguments. But hear this truth. Your words are not for them right now. Your words are sacred. Your words are holy. And they must be reserved for one realm only: prayer. This is a consecrated silence. Not empty. Not passive. But prophetic. Every moment you refrain from responding, a fire builds in the spirit. Every time you choose to watch instead of speak, angels record your obedience in scrolls of divine honor. What seems like stillness in the natural is warfare in the unseen. Heaven is moving on your behalf because you have refused to move in your flesh. Step back. Observe. Document spiritually. Don't just watch with your eyes. Watch with your spirit. Pay attention to patterns. Take note of repetition. Record what your soul detects, not just what your ears hear. Because every pattern is a spiritual code, and every code leads to a truth that will be confirmed in the next season. This is not a season for confrontation. This is a season for consecration. Be hidden. Let the fire surround you. Say less. Pray more. Don't justify. Don't clarify. Don't explain. You are not in a courtroom, you are in a furnace. And what the fire doesn't need, it will burn away. And what is meant to remain, it will refine into gold. Heaven is giving you the most powerful gift in this moment: divine concealment. You are being protected, not because you're weak, but because you're potent. You are a carrier of prophecy. You are a vessel of kingdom fire. The enemy isn't attacking because of what you did wrong. He's attacking because of what you're about to carry right. And right now, your safest place is under the wing of divine invisibility. They don't see your full transformation yet, and that's intentional. They don't understand the fire that's forming inside you, and that's divine strategy. You're not being ignored. You're being hidden by God. Hidden like Moses in a basket. Hidden like David in the wilderness. Hidden like Esther behind the veil. All were silent for a season, and all emerged with power. This is your season of silence before public authority. Your prayer now must become a weapon, not a soft one, not a passive one, but a prayer from the depth of your spirit. I am hidden in divine protection and fire. No force, no lie, no human voice can penetrate the fortress God has built around me. I will not speak when silence is my strategy. I will not fight when surrender is my warfare. I will not rush when God is building. Let this be your war cry, not through noise, but through alignment. You are being preserved for something greater. Your silence is not absence, it is armor. Your refusal to respond in the natural has created a spiritual disruption so loud that the enemy doesn't know where to strike. Because you've stepped into the realm where fire blinds the enemy and confuses his strategies. Michael is circling. The sword of justice is drawn. And the moment you restrain your flesh, he advances further. When you sit in stillness, the angels march. When you fall into prayer, the heavens thunder. You don't need to say another word. The Spirit of the living God is thundering in realms your voice could never reach. Do not break your silence for anyone unworthy of your peace. Do not trade your anointing for temporary vindication. There is a reward for those who remain unseen in the season of shaping. There is honor for those who are silent when the world demands a reaction. Your name is being whispered in heavenly realms because you chose obedience over outrage. So remain still. Fasten your spirit to the presence of God. Let your soul anchor itself in truth. You are not here to be heard. You are here to be held. Held by divine justice. Held by fire. Held in silence. You are dangerous when you are silent. You are mighty when you say nothing. You are lethal when you are still. Because the enemy cannot locate what is hidden in glory. And you, chosen vessel, are now hidden in holy fire. Type "I am hidden in glory" in the comments if this word resonates with your season. Blessing code 4444 now surrounds your silence with fire. Hear this now. You are not broken. You are becoming. The pain did not define you. The silence did not diminish you. The betrayal did not end you. Everything that was sent to destroy you has now become the sacred ash from which you rise. The season of hiding, of holding your tongue, of walking alone through spiritual fog, it was never about isolation. It was activation. And now, the shift begins. The ashes begin to stir. The fire beneath your skin is not consuming you. It's shaping wings. You are not weak. You are rising in divine clarity. Your silence was not silence. It was strategy. Your stillness was not surrender. It was strength incubating. You felt buried, but you were planted. You thought you were overlooked, but you were reserved. And now, the divine timetable strikes in your favor. This is your rising. This is your moment to lift your head, not in pride, but in fire-birth power. They thought they could silence you, but the one who walks with heaven cannot be muzzled. Archangel Michael now steps behind you, not merely to shield, but to push. There's a holy push happening in your spirit right now. You feel it. You know it. The tiredness you once felt is lifting. The heaviness is breaking. Your spine is straightening, your eyes sharpening, your spirit roaring again. The confusion is leaving. The questions are turning into declarations. You are no longer begging for clarity. You are becoming the clarity. And they will see it. Those who dismissed your pain will witness your purpose. Those who doubted your discernment will now feel your direction. Those who mocked your stillness will tremble at your movement. What they failed to understand was that while you were silent, heaven was sculpting a warrior out of your waiting. The deeper the wound, the greater the flame that now burns from it. And you, child of fire, are not the same person who once bled. You are not the same soul who once questioned. You have crossed a spiritual threshold, and nothing will be the same again. The fire they thought would break you has only tempered you. You are fire forged, spirit built, glory filled. This world does not recognize what you carry, but the unseen realm does. Demons whisper your name with fear. Angels surround your path with reverence. Heaven watches your next step with anticipation. They underestimated the fire you carry inside. They didn't know that your silence was your consecration. They didn't know that your heartbreak was your birth canal. They didn't know that your delay was divine discipline that would unlock generational transformation. You were not just surviving for yourself. You were preserving something for your bloodline. You were fighting battles that your ancestors couldn't name. You were carrying burdens that didn't start with you, but they end with you. And now your transformation begins to show. Not because you shouted, not because you proved a point, but because heaven decided the time had come. Heaven has now authorized your rise. There is divine permission on your name now. You don't need validation. You don't need permission from people. You walk with heaven's backing. You move with kingdom force. You speak, and realms listen. Your grief is no longer a weight. It is a weapon. Your questions are no longer doubts. They are launch guns. Every moment of anguish has been translated into sacred fuel. You've been refined. You've been tested. And now you are trusted. Wings are forming in the fire. You may not see them yet, but they are there, beating, blowing, stretching within you. The same fire that once surrounded you is now behind you. The same voices that once laughed at your obedience will have no choice but to witness your acceleration. Not because you demanded it, but because you were faithful when no one was watching. You stood, and now you will soar. This next part of your life is not about proving anyone wrong. It's about proving God right. He chose you for a reason. He kept you for a reason. He hid you because he was crafting something too holy to be exposed prematurely. And now, your emergence begins. Your rise begins. Your voice begins. Not as a whisper, but as a trumpet. You no longer need to explain why you disappeared, why you distanced yourself, why you withdrew. The fruit will speak. The fire will speak. The divine force in your presence will speak. Because those who carry heaven don't need to advertise it. They embody it. Michael stands beside you now, no longer blocking attacks, but clearing paths. The road ahead is opening. It will not be easy, but it will be ordered. You will feel the resistance lessen. You will feel the flow quicken. You will feel the heavens leaning toward you as you take every step forward. Let your wings stretch. Let your spirit lift. Let your voice rise, not in anger, but in anointing. You are no longer crawling in survival. You are soaring in sovereignty. This is your moment. This is your flight. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can hold you back now. Type "I am rising in fire" in the comments if this message confirms your spirit. Blessing code 999 is igniting your wings with supernatural authority. What you have walked through was not a delay. It was not a punishment. It was a placement. And now, the revelation arrives. Heaven is pulling back the curtain, not to entertain, but to establish you. The silence was not God ignoring you. It was God preparing something so sacred, so strategic, that even the angels had to wait in silence for the timing to align. And now, that moment has come. The scroll is being unsealed. The mystery is unraveling. The fire is speaking. You asked, why did I have to go through that? Why did they turn on me? Why did everything fall apart when I was just trying to do right? And now heaven replies, not with apology, but with prophecy. Because you were not being abandoned, You were being anointed. The attack did not mean God was absent. The betrayal did not mean you were forgotten. In fact, it was the opposite. The moment you stepped into your calling, your name was echoed in heaven, and all of hell heard it. You were marked. You were registered. You were chosen. And the battle that followed was proof. The ones who tried to bury you didn't understand what they were triggering. They thought they were silencing you, but they were actually summoning your rise. What they covered in lies, God is uncovering in power. What they whispered behind your back, heaven is now shouting over your destiny. Because the trial was the threshold. The pain was the prophecy. The betrayal was the sign that your next level was too dangerous for casual surroundings. You thought you lost something, but in reality, heaven was clearing the way. The loss was permission. The collapse was release. The confusion was the ground breaking before your new assignment emerged. And now, heaven declares, this is your unlocking. No force can stop this gate. You've reached a divine gate in the spirit. You can feel it. The atmosphere feels thinner, the air around you charged. This is not normal time. This is not routine energy. This is the vibration of heaven pressing into earth. And you, chosen one, are standing in front of a door that will not remain closed. You don't need to knock. You don't need to beg. You only need to step. This is the moment when the truth reveals its purpose. The pain wasn't to punish, it was to posture you. The warfare wasn't to weaken, it was to wake you. The silence wasn't to shame, it was to shield. You weren't being delayed, you were being set apart. Your name is recorded in divine ink. There is a page in heaven where your journey hath been carefully documented. Every cry, every sigh, every moment you almost gave up but didn't. You are not forgotten. You are archived in the glory. And now, that archive is being opened. Heaven says, I pause your blessing, not to withhold, but to align. I could not release what you weren't ready to protect. I could not elevate what you were not strong enough to sustain. I waited, not because I doubted you, but because I believed in what I was forming in you. Do you feel it? Do you feel the clarity in your bones? The awakening in your belly? The shaking in your atmosphere? You're not just entering a new season. You're entering a prophetic unveiling. You will understand why it had to happen the way it did. You will look back and see the fingerprints of heaven all over the chaos. You will understand that God didn't fail you. He fortified you. This is not the season to question your worth. It's the season to announce your authority. You don't have to defend your anointing. You only need to walk in it. You don't need to convince anyone of your calling. Your fruit will speak. Your presence will speak. Your next move will prove what heaven has already declared over you. The person who tried to destroy you actually positioned you. The attack forced you into maturity. The warfare shaped your discernment. The rejection made room for divine access. You didn't lose. You were redirected into royalty. Let this truth burn into your soul. Your delay was divine. Your silence was sacred. Your pain was prophetic. Your name is now sealed in power. This is the hour of release. This is the moment of manifestation. Heaven has given the command, open the scroll. Release the revelation. Let the chosen one rise. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super chat or super thanks with a contribution of $10. Your generosity empowers us to continue delivering powerful messages just like this one. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. You're not just joining a platform. You're aligning with a prophetic movement. Regular updates, exclusive spiritual insights, and divine empowerment are waiting for you right here. Type I am unlocked in the comments. Blessing code 5555 is releasing prophetic gates over your calling. This is not the time to think. This is not the time to weigh your options or consult your fear. This is the hour to speak, to declare, and to move. Heaven has waited long enough. The command has gone forth. The gates have opened. The angels have been dispatched. The wind is already moving around you. And now, the next move belongs to you. Your voice must match your vision. Your steps must match your spirit. You cannot carry divine revelation in your soul and refuse divine action in your body. The Spirit of the Lord declares, say yes, and move. Speak what you believe, and I will answer it with fire. This is not symbolic. This is not poetic. This is a spiritual law. What you declare in faith becomes a magnet for heavenly manifestation. What you proclaim with authority will materialize in divine alignment. Heaven has no need for timid declarations. You are not standing in a season of negotiation. You are standing in a realm of command. This is not the time to wait for signs. You are the sign. You are the confirmation. You are the evidence of God's promise, walking in human form. And when you speak in alignment, heaven moves on assignment. You must now declare, I align with divine order and timing. I walk in holy precision. I obey the prophetic voice. I do not delay. These are not mere words, these are key. Spiritual doors respond to spiritual language. And your yes is not a whisper. It is a decree that shakes the atmosphere. You have been waiting for the right moment. Waiting for the right conditions, waiting for the wind to close, for the doubts to leave, for the opposition to fade. But heaven says, the time is now. The moment is holy. Your breath is permission. Your movement is worship. You cannot wait your way into destiny. You must walk into it. Obedience is not just a decision, it's a motion. You prove your trust not by what you believe in theory, but by how you move in reality. Action is worship. Movement is proof of trust. Every step you take now is a declaration that says, I refuse to sit in survival when I was called to walk in sovereignty. You are no longer waiting on favor. Favor has been waiting on you. You are no longer praying for breakthrough. Breakthrough has been standing by, assigned to your voice print. You are no longer seeking permission to rise. The throne of heaven has already signed your release. All of heaven is aligned with your yes. Now the earth waits to echo it through manifestation. This is where the shift becomes visible. When your outer life begins to mirror the fire that's been burning within you. When your surroundings begin to rearrange themselves to fit the weight of your anointing. When opportunities start moving toward you, not because you chased them, but because you finally aligned your voice with your victory. Let heaven hear it. Let the Spirit of God feel the vibration of your agreement. Don't just think it, say it. Speak it until the realm around you bends in recognition of your divine rank. Speak it until every lie that tried to silence you breaks under the sound of your obedience. Do you understand how much power is contained in your next step? Do you know how much spiritual weight hangs on your willingness to act? This is not about perfection. It's about alignment. God doesn't need you to have it all figured out. He needs your feet to agree with your faith. He needs your body to move like your spirit already knows the way. This is not a game. This is not an emotional high. This is a divine call. And now, your next breath, your next sentence, your next move must be in step with glory. Because the windows are open, the gates are unlocked, the angels are positioned, and destiny will not wait for those who hesitate. You were sent into this world to disrupt darkness. You were born to interrupt the enemy's plans. You carry light, and light doesn't beg for entrance, it takes territory. Every time you step forward, darkness loses ground. Every time you obey, principalities weaken. Every time you move, heaven multiplies. You are not here to be liked. You are not here to be understood. You are here to move mountains. You are here to break cycles. You are here to lead captives out of cages they thought were permanent. And you cannot do that sitting still. You cannot do that playing small. You cannot do that waiting for another sign. You are the sign. And now, speak, move, declare, love. Say it again. I align with divine order and timing. My movement is prophetic. My obedience is final. Archangel Michael walks with you now, not beside a whispering spirit, but beside a warrior in motion. The wind of heaven will follow your steps. The fire of God will guard your path. The provision will meet you as you walk, not before. The clarity will come as you move, not while you wait. So rise. Take the risk. Make the call. Write the book. Leave the place. Say the prayer. Open the door. Walk in obedience and watch how quickly heaven answers. Because the time has come. The gate is open. The path is waiting. And all of heaven is holding its breath to watch what you do next. Type "I am moving in obedience" in the comments if your spirit is saying yes. Blessing code 2323 is now activated to release momentum and divine acceleration. There is a sacred silence that has fallen around you, not the silence of absence, but the silence of movement behind the veil. Do not mistake this stillness as inactivity. Do not assume heaven has paused. No, the silence you now feel is the sound of sacred negotiation. While your eyes see nothing, and your hands touch nothing, the realm of the Spirit is pulsing with divine exchange. The courtroom of heaven has been opened. Your name had been summoned, and Archangel Michael stands to testify, not of your perfection, but of your perseverance. What was stolen from you is being calculated. What was said about you is being weighed. What was denied to you is being remeasured. Not by man, not by ego, not by worldly judgment, but by divine justice. While you rest in obedience, angels are speaking in languages unknown to you, exchanging records, presenting scrolls, drawing swords, and shifting destinies on your behalf. They are correcting what flesh could not fix. They are reversing what pride distorted. They are balancing the scales with hands dipped in glory. You must understand this now. You were never unseen. You were hidden. Hidden like precious treasure. Hidden like a seed beneath the soil. Hidden like fire in a cloud. And now, the record of your pain is speaking. Your long nights, your whispered prayers, your restrained words, your silent obedience. It has all been recorded in the fire of heaven's library. And now the pages are being turned. Hidden is forgotten. Every tear was preserved like oil. Every betrayal was marked with divine ink. Every moment you chose silence over revenge, stillness over rage, purity over popularity. It was documented. And now, those scrolls are being unsealed in the spirit realm. What was done in secret will now be corrected in glory. The favor that seemed withheld was not denied. It was reserved for the precise moment of divine release. There is a shift happening even now. You feel it, but you can't name it. You sense it, but you can't explain it. That's because the shift is not yet visible to the natural eye. It is spiritual first. Your soul is adjusting to a new frequency. The realm around you is recalibrating to your anointing. The doors you thought were locked are swinging open in the spirit before they ever touch the earth. The relationships you lost are being replaced by covenant alliances in the spirit before you ever meet them in the natural. Heaven always moves first. Earth always catches up. You may feel tired, unusually emotional, or strangely detached from the things that once consumed you. That's not depression. That's displacement. You are being moved. Your assignment is shifting rooms. Your authority is entering a new corridor. The angels around you are not the same. New ranks have been released. Your name has been echoed in chambers you didn't know existed. And now those chambers are responding. Let go of needing to understand everything. What is happening now is too holy for analysis. You don't need to know how. It's enough that you said yes. Your obedience has triggered activity that your intellect cannot grasp. Just like Esther didn't know that her fasting moved a king's heart. Just like Daniel didn't see the angel fighting through principalities while he prayed. Just like Joseph didn't see the shift from pit to palace until it happened. So it is with you. You are in the middle of a silent exchange that will change everything. God is not asking you to fight right now. He's asking you to trust. Lay down your sword and raise your faith. Rest is not laziness in the kingdom. It is warfare posture. When you rest in God, you declare that He is sovereign over your outcome. When you lay your burdens down, heaven picks them up. When you breathe deeply, the Spirit breathes back into you. That exchange is sacred. It is not loud. It is not chaotic. It is divine intimacy between the throne and your spirit. Listen, chosen one, your silence speaks louder than their shouting. Your faith whispers louder than their threats. Your stillness shakes realms they cannot see. The darkness wanted you loud and anxious, reactive and reckless. But heaven wanted you still, because stillness carries weight. The enemy cannot follow you into this silence. He cannot interpret the codes of your trust. He cannot decipher your rest. And because he cannot read it, he cannot stop what's coming. The Spirit of God declares, "What I have begun in silence, I will finish in glory. What I have shifted in the secret place will manifest in the open." They will not see it coming, but they will not be able to stop it. Your rise will be sudden, not because it was rushed, but because it was prepared behind the veil. So now, breathe, rest, and trust. Let the angels do what only angels can do. Let Michael defend what only heaven can protect. Let the Spirit surround you with fire while you sleep. The weight of this moment is not on your shoulders. It rests on the power of divine covenant. And the covenant can't be broken. The shift your soul has been feeling is not random. It is heaven adjusting the realm to make room for what belongs to you. You are not too late. You are right on time. And heaven is not scrambling. It's settling the accounts. The harvest is being counted. The reward is being measured. The justice is being sealed. And very soon, your rest will meet your reward. Type "I trust" the silent shift in the comments if this message confirms your spirit. Blessing code 3003 is releasing heavenly negotiations and divine reversal in your atmosphere. Now comes the justice. Now comes the reversal. Now comes the hand of God that does not miss, does not forget, and does not delay. Heaven has waited until this moment to issue its decree. and it will not be undone. Every wrong that was whispered, every hand that reached in deception, every hidden plot, justice is now surrounding it like fire. What they thought would remain buried is being summoned by heaven's court, and the judgment is righteous. God hath been silent long enough. He was not blind. He was not passive. He was measuring, weighing, calculating what they did in secret against the purity of your heart. And the balance has tipped. The gavel has struck. Divine reversal hath been issued, and no human hand can halt what heaven has released. You must know this. God does not forget. Not the wounds, not the words, not the promises. He is not like man. He doesn't turn his face from injustice. He stores every act, every cry, every moment you were wrongfully accused or unfairly treated. He does not erase truth to preserve someone's comfort. He does not bypass brokenness to protect someone else's ego. No, he confronts it with divine fire. And now that fire is moving, they will witness your rise and feel heaven's fire. This is not about revenge. This is about righteous reversal. This is about vindication that doesn't stem from ego but from obedience. You didn't retaliate when you could have. You didn't smear their name when they tried to destroy yours. You didn't fight with flesh, you waited on heaven. And now, heaven is responding with a holy fury, the kind that rebuilds the ruins and exposes the builders of lies. There are conversations that were had about you that heaven will now reverse. The rooms where your name was slandered will now become rooms where your favor is demanded. The very people who tried to block your path will now have to watch the door open for you, and they won't be able to close it. What they sowed in secrecy, they will now reap in exposure. Not because you cursed them, but because heaven has declared the balance must be restored. Expect reversal in your finances, in your peace, in your relationships, in your rest. What you lost is returning. What was stolen is being accounted for. What was denied is now being commanded into your hands. The favor that passed you by will now circle back, clothed in urgency. The blessings that seemed withheld will now be released with multiplied interest. The months, perhaps years, you spent in quiet suffering, in unanswered prayers, in invisible warfare, they were not wasted. Heaven has been storing those years like oil in jars. And now the jars are breaking. Now the oil is flowing. Now the fragrance of your obedience is reaching the throne. And what you're about to see is not a small reward. It is generational reversal. It is prophetic restitution. It is justice at the level only God can give. Favor will crown your silence and obedience. You didn't have to defend yourself. You didn't have to beg for understanding. God saw it all, and his reward is not cheap. It is not symbolic. It is tangible, visible, and undeniable. You will walk into rooms prepared by angels. You will receive favor your resume didn't earn. You will parry a glow they cannot ignore. Not because you're better, because you suffered in secret without bitterness. Heaven balances the scales without delay now. This is an active word, not a promise for next year or someday in the distance. The shift has already begun. Look around. People are subtly seeing you. Opportunities are beginning to re-emerge. Peace is returning to your mind. Confirmation is coming in rapid waves. The winds have changed, and you are in divine flow now. Archangel Michael now seals this decree with heavenly fire. The same fire that guarded your spirit, that protected your path, that burned the assignments of the enemy, is now going before you to settle accounts. Michael moves with finality. His sword has struck the record of your injustice, and the page has turned. His next chapter will be written in power. Do not be surprised when those who harmed you try to return with apologies, or with confusion, or even with accusation. Do not fear it. Do not run from it. Walk in confidence. Your posture is not vengeance, it is victory. You don't have to explain anything. Your fruit will speak. Your fire will speak. Your favor will preach sermons louder than your words ever could. The decree is done. The reversal is in motion. The realm has shifted. What you thought was over is only beginning, and what they thought they buried has been resurrected by holy fire. If this message speaks to your spirit and you feel moved, consider giving a super thanks or a super sticker of $5 to support this channel. Your support helps us continue creating content that equips and empowers. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for exclusive messages, prophetic updates, and ongoing spiritual alignment. You're not here by accident. You've been called into a stream of divine revelation, and staying connected will unlock more. Type "the scales are balanced" in the comments if this word speaks to your journey. Blessing code 1010 is releasing divine justice and reversal into your atmosphere. This is the final moment. The silence has spoken. The scroll has been opened. The secrets have been revealed. And now, as the realm settles, a blessing comes, not from man, not from emotion, but from the mouth of the living God. You have been chosen. You have been shielded. And yes, you have been prepared for this very hour. The fire that tried to break you has become the anointing that fuels you. The pain that tried to poison you has turned into the oil of your assignment. The delays that seemed to deny you have now become the divine evidence that heaven was aligning something too holy for premature release. You are not who you were at the beginning of this message. You have shifted. Your atmosphere has shifted. The unseen has shifted. Because once truth is revealed, it cannot be unrevealed. Once heaven speaks, it cannot be unsaid. Once a blessing is sealed in fire, no hand on earth or in hell can unwrite it. No force can undo what heaven has ordained. Let that echo through every dimension of your spirit. No force, no lie, no accusation, no delay, no betrayal, no circumstance. What God has written over your life is permanent. What He has spoken over your destiny is eternal. What He has marked you for will not return void. The gates of hell cannot override the ink of heaven. What has been opened for you in this hour cannot be shut. What has been revealed to you in this message cannot be hidden again. You are not just informed, you are transformed. May peace cover you now, not the peace that comes from circumstances, but the peace that surpasses understanding. The peace that rests upon those who know they are shielded by fire, carried by angels, and aligned with eternity. His peace is your armor. His peace is your mantle. His peace is your portion. May wisdom lead you, not the wisdom of intellect or experience, but the wisdom that flows from the throne room. The wisdom that sees through dissection, that discerns the unseen, that makes decisions from heaven's perspective. You will walk in clarity now. You will not second guess. You will not waver. The double-mindedness has been burned away. The fog has lifted. Heaven's light now rests on your choices. And may fire protect you, not a fire of destruction, but a fire of preservation. The same fire that stood between the Israelites and Pharaoh's army. The same fire that fell on Mount Carmel. The same fire that sat on the heads of the apostles in the upper room. That fire is now around you. That fire is within you. That fire goeth before you. Every place your foot touches is now surrounded by flame. The enemy will not cross it. The accuser will not penetrate it. You are sealed in sacred flame. You are not rising alone. You are rising with assignment. You are rising with backing. You are rising with identity. The heavens know your name. The angels know your cause. The Spirit of God rests on your shoulders like a mantle. You do not carry the weight of your past, you carry the weight of your call. And that weight is holy. Let your soul breathe now. Let your spirit stretch. You are free. You are equipped. You are trusted. The heavens rejoice because a warrior has been awakened. The darkness trembles because a voice hath been released. The earth groans because a vessel has been positioned. You are sealed, seen, and sent. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not late. You are on time in divine time. What others missed about you, heaven has highlighted. What others rejected, heaven has restored. What others cursed, heaven has crowned. There will be a calm that settles over you now, not because nothing is happening, but because everything is happening in your favor. There will be evidence. There will be confirmation. There will be manifestations that bear the fingerprint of heaven. And when they ask, how did this happen so quickly? You will not boast in your strength. You will point to the throne and say, He did it in silence, and now He has done it in glory. So rise now, not in fear, but in fire. Rise in the knowledge that you were always the one. The enemy knew it. That's why he fought you so violently. That's why the betrayals cut so deeply. That's why the warfare felt relentless. But now the truth is revealed. You survived because you were called. And you were called because you were destined to reign. This is the final word in this decree. Heaven has spoken. The angels have sealed. The fire has surrounded. Now go. Type I am sealed and fired in the comments to receive this final blessing. Blessing code 777 is now covering your house, your mind, your movement, and your name.